Hey everybody, I'm Alan Schaefer at Custom Garden Solutions. In this exciting new episode, I'm going to provide a follow-up to an episode called How to Grow Basil Indoors I did just the other day. Before I start, this is a great time to start basil indoors so that in 6 to 8 weeks you have basil leaves to harvest all fall and winter. In the episode How to Grow Basil Indoors, I mentioned that you know when to water the basil plants when the leaves sag, droop, wilt, and look kind of limp or lifeless. Well, I've purposely not watered this Italian basil plant, and here is what saggy, droopy, wilty, limp, and lifeless looks like. Here is what the plants look like just 4 to 5 days ago. So let's talk about harvesting your basil. So what you want to do is you always want to pinch from the top. I may have gone a little overboard in trying to show you guys my example. I'm going to water and come back in a few hours, and if I'm right, the basil plant will have made a tremendous comeback and will no longer look saggy, droopy, wilty, limp, and lifeless. If you can, you want to use filtered water. You should also use room temperature water. I don't have filtered water today, so I'll use some water that I've had sitting at room temperature for a couple of days. In the episode titled How to Grow Pepper Plants from Seed Indoors, at about the 14-minute 57-second mark, I talked about how to reduce the chlorine, chloramine, and other possible chemicals from your municipal tap water. I'll put a link to that up above and in the description down below, and you can check that out for yourselves. I water basil about twice a week, but of course that'll vary based on humidity, temperature, wind, size of the plant, size of the container, and a bunch of other factors. Perfect. I'll be back in a couple hours to show you the progress. Okay, so it's been a couple of hours. I mentioned earlier that I water about twice a week. I want to urge you to not go by a set schedule for watering, to not feel the soil for how moist the soil is, etc. When you're growing indoors, you should wait until the plant starts to slightly begin to droop, sag, wilt, and look a little limp and lifeless. You don't need to go to the extent I did in how long you hold back watering. I did that to prove a point. So, just wait until the plant shows the slightest little sign of sagging, drooping, wilting, and going a little limp and lifeless. Saggy, droopy, wilty, and limpy kind of sounds like a couple of the 7 dwarfs. And now, for the magic moment, I will reveal how the recently watered plant looks. Drum roll, please. Here we go. So, let's see how things turned out. And the answer is, things turned out awesome. I knew they would. And there's no more sagging or drooping or wilting, and there's no limpness or lifelessness. The plant looks tremendous. It's nice and green. There's no insects. There's no spotting. There's no disease. The bottom leaves look good. They're not yellow or anything like that, which might indicate a little bit too much watering. So I proved my hypothesis, or I proved my point. The moral of the story is don't water on a certain schedule. You know, every 5 days, every 4 days. Don't feel the soil for how moist it is to determine if you need to water. Listen to the plant. It'll tell you. Be the basil plant whisperer. And when the leaves start to sag, droop, or wilt, or if it becomes a little limp and lifeless, just the slightest bit of that, then it's time to water. I water about 25% of the time from the top, and about 75% from the bottom. Anyway, And we want to thank all participants in today's episode. The Italian basil plant will be receiving a lifetime supply of watering, fertilizing, and love and care, thanks to the good folks at Custom Garden Solutions. That's crazy. I'm Alan Schaefer at Custom Garden Solutions. Our channel is all about helping you grow herbs and vegetables and all kinds of cool garden stuff so that you can live a healthier and happier life. If you're new to our channel and you want to learn all about growing herbs and vegetables and all kinds of cool garden stuff, start today by subscribing. Hit the subscription button. You can always unsubscribe. It's free. Not fatal. Not final. And after you've subscribed, you might want to hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything, because you never know what I'm going to be talking about next. And now, our mascot, your favorite, the pepper.